need help with my posture,
Let's
Jital.
correct it first.
Ooh.
So nice and straight. Look how tall you are.
Oh,
Taller than
suddenly,
me.
whoa!
Can you see everyone now?
I can see everyone, and not just the floor.
Not just the floor. There
Wow!
you go.
Can you teach these techniques to our lovely residents?
Absolutely. That's why we're here today.
Woo! Take it away, Jital.
Thank you, everyone. Yes. Thank you for coming here, and you're going to listen to me talk. And not just that, it's going to be a little interactive because I'm going to have you all stand up at one point or another, and I'm going to show you a lot of postural exercises to help you stay nice and upright. So I noticed a lot of them start using walkers, different types of walkers. And I wouldn't say that's the only cause, but that is also one of the main causes that changes our posture, right? A show of hands, how many of us are kind of like this? They feel like they're walking like this, right? It causes you to start leaning over. If your walker is way out here and if you're walking, guess what? In order for me to hold that, I'm gonna have to bend and walk, but then that's what happens, right? So if you keep your walker close to you, it's gonna force you to stand upright. Okay, so that's just one of the things that causes that change in your posture. Any other reason why your posture may change as we age? Anyone?
Our bones compress.
Yes, osteoporosis, bone compression, absolutely. As we age, the bone density changes, right? And that doesn't help our spine maintain that straight posture that we have, right? Also, weakness in our spine and our core. We do a lot of exercises, but we almost always forget to do our core exercises, right? The six-pack that's in there somewhere, we forget to do this. So this is kind of our foundation, our stability that helps us stay upright. Because this portion helps your hips stay in alignment, and then your hips are able to carry on the weight of your entire upper body. And so when that's weak, we start going a little lopsided, one side or the other, it gets weaker, and then, you know, how many of us have seen other people or yourself kind of waddle a little when you're walking, right?
Yeah.
And then guess what happens? You get back pain, right?
The old duck walk.
Duck walk. You get a lot of back pain, neck pain. So a lot of that is very common for people as they age. It's not something you should be looking forward to as you age, right? It's not something that you should say, well, when I age, I'm going to get all of these problems, and you want to check them off the list. No. Because if you do the right thing and you do it the correct way, you can prevent a lot of those problems, right? Something as simple as doing the posture exercises that we're going to go over later, but I also give everyone a handout of just 4 to 5 simple things that you can safely do by yourself, okay? We'll go over them after. Okay, so when we don't have proper posture, we talked about it, what happens? We get neck pain, especially with the walker posture, right? Neck pain, shoulder pain, back pain. Aside from the pain, what happens is we're kind of limited like this, and that prevents shoulder movement. Then we're not able to move our shoulders the way we're supposed to. Or same thing, we can't move that back like we're supposed to. When that back stays like this, your gait, your walking pattern changes, and then what are you doing? You're shuffling, you're taking those baby steps, right? Instead of the normal leg length that you should have, step length. So having proper posture does a lot of wonders. One, it improves your balance. You're not going to fall because, like Stella said, she can actually see up front instead of having to look down on the floor. So it improves your balance and improves your stability. It also prevents all that pain that we talked about. So if you have the proper posture, you won't be having all that pain. Prevents joint wear and tear. That is the biggest reason why we have the pain, is because when you're that improper posture, you're putting a lot of load on your joints in a position they're not supposed to be in. So if your joint is in an awkward position it's not supposed to be in, and you're loading that joint with that awkward positioning posture, it's going to just wear and tear a lot faster, right? And then, like you mentioned, if you have osteoporosis, arthritis, it's going to add on to that. So it can prevent all of that from happening. Anyone have asthma, difficulty breathing? Or even if you don't, the posture helps enhance your respiratory system. So if you're down here, a lot of blood is kind of rushed right here in the front of our body. But if you're up here, it helps you expand your lungs, and then you're able to take a nice deep breath. It's an optimal oxygen in your body. So you're able to breathe a little bit better. Have you ever seen runners, or like if you've been watching the Olympics recently, right, and they finish a race and they're like they're just hunched over and huffing and puffing, right? But idea is they're trying to catch their breath. And they get up and they expand their chest, they're able to take in that nice deep breath. You don't see runners running like this. You see runners standing upright, chest back, and pumping those arms, right? So definitely helps with the breathing intake too. You have better energy levels. Stooped posture takes a lot more energy than standing upright. This is way less energy, and as opposed to this, it takes more energy to walk like this, okay? It helps mental health. It helps you increase your focus, your concentration, your attention, because now you're actually more vigilant in your environment, okay? It helps you prevent the fall. That's one of the biggest reasons. We don't want to fall, right? So, some common posture problems that we talked about. So we talked about the pain and all of that, but more for your body. The forward head. So our head and neck, this is normal alignment, right? A lot of times you'll see people with this type of a posture. How does that happen? It's because you're down here, and so now if you wanted to look, everything, the gravity kind of pulls you down. So when you stand back up and in your chair, your neck is still forward out like this. It shouldn't be, it should be aligned. And so when your forward head posture happens, you notice anyone with like a big hunch over here, right in the back?
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's gonna give you that hunchback posture right over here. And then what happens? Your rounded shoulders. Rounded shoulders is going to give you more of that hunchback along with that forward head. So forward head, rounded shoulders are some of the signs that you want to look out for if to see if you have good posture or not. And then put your hands on your shoulder. That's good. So that's even. For you, your left shoulder is a little high. All right, good. Yeah, that's a little bit better. But I can tell with your head, if there's a change in your head positioning. Put your hand right on your shoulder, right here. Good. Better. Everyone looks good so far. Okay, so that's one of the biggest things. Your ears, if your head is forward like this, it's going to put pressure on your neck. That's going to cause you to round your shoulders. You're already using your walker. That's causing you to bend from your waist anyway. And so now you're walking like this. Where's a lot of that pressure when you walk like that? Your hands, definitely your hands. So your shoulders are going to be in a lot of pain too, right? But also your knees are taking on a lot of that pressure and your lower back, because you're not straightening up to even out that weight. So then your knees, and then you're putting a lot of pressure on your ankles too, so then everything starts to hurt. So you have to start up here. Start with your head, neck, shoulders, and then everything will fall into place. It's not as easy as it sounds, of course. You just have to be very mindful, and then also if there's already posture changes, you need to do the proper exercise and therapy to correct it. But there are things that you can do by yourself at home to help improve that posture, okay? So the first one is really simple. It's called a neck traction. Remember I said some people have this type of a posture where their head is forward? So you want to essentially do the opposite. If you've ever seen a duck or a chicken walk, right? They kind of that's the idea. You don't want to do this. That's not what we're asking for. What I want you to do is, on purpose, stick your chin out, and then take your hands and then push your chin back. And then stick your chin out. There you go, Joe. You got it. And then put your chin back. There you go. So almost like pretend you're a duck. Pretend you're a duck and you're walking around like this. Stick your chin and then push it back.
Not body, just neck.
Just your neck.
Just neck.
So I want you to do this. Ready? I want you to go like this. Stick your chin out forward.
Okay.
Yep, you don't have to bring your hand. Ready? Rest your hand.
Okay, just.
Okay? And then chin back this way. Not towards me. I want you to go back like this.
That?
Out and back.
Oh, back. Oh,
Forward.
Out. And
Push
back.
against my hand.
Out.
Push against my hand.
Okay.
There.
Okay.
Come towards my hand. And back. There you go. Forward. And back. There you go. And we'll
Okay.
work on that a little bit, okay?
Okay, yeah.
Chin back.
There you go. Chin forward, chin back. The other one, it says, the second one, it says neck extension with a towel. You can do it with or without a towel, okay? So if you're doing it with a towel, what you do is you take a towel and you put it around your neck, just like this, and you hold it right up here to give yourself a little resistance, okay? You hold it down, and then just lift your neck up, and hold that about 10-15 seconds, and then relax. Without the towel, it's just the same way. You bring your neck up, look towards the ceiling, okay? As high as you can, look up towards the ceiling, good. And then come back down, touch your chin to your chest. And then what you can do, if you're able to do that, what you can do is take one of your hands, put it behind your head, and push down. Give it a little extra resistance. So back of your head, yep, you got it. Right up a little bit further back, right over there, and then push down, good. And stretch that neck out.
So what's this next one, Jital?
So the next one is really for your upright posture, and it really helps straighten you up over here. Okay, so it's an exercise for your scapula. Where's your scapula? It's in the back. So I want to show you. On Stella, go ahead and turn around. Your scapula is this right up here and here. You've got two, right? The shoulder blades here. So the exercise, what you're going to do, Stella, is either you can do it in standing this way, and go ahead and squeeze your shoulder blades together. When you do that, right here, these two shoulder blades, you're pushing them together, okay? So you can go right out. Bring your arms forward, bend, and then squeeze. You know when you wake up in the morning and you take a nice big yawn and you just squeeze? Yes, that's what you want to do. And so you squeeze your shoulder blades together, lift.
What's exciting about this is because this is what we do. Jim, where do we do this?
Exercise class.
Yes. So I encourage everyone to come to the exercise class,
That's
chair,
right.
fit and spin, and we'll incorporate more
Yes.
of what you've taught us today. Thank you.
Absolutely, yes. There you go. So right here, you should be feeling that. Another way of doing it is you're just standing, hands like this, and you do this. It's kind of like extending your chest, your neck, and bringing those arms back, okay? So sometimes when people refer to it as like a swimmer's pose, or, you know, there's light radiating out of you and you're just like this. Easier way is this way. You can do this in standing or sitting, okay? So that's that exercise. All right. The next one this is a really neat one. It's called T's, the letter T, the letter Y, the letter W, and the letter L, okay? So what does that mean?
That's a song, isn't it?
Is there a song? That's YMCA.
Yeah. Oh, wrong letter.
Kind of, yes. Is the letter, let's start with the letter Y. It's kind of like when you're doing YMCA, right?
Yes, okay.
So if you're sitting in your chair, okay, make sure you're sitting all the way back, okay? Make sure your bottom is touching the back of your chair, you're upright. Bring your arms back straight, and lean back in your chair. And bring your head, neck, and shoulders back as much as you can, and hold it there. Hold it, look up to the ceiling. Take a nice deep breath. And exhale and come back. That's your Y, right? You're going Y. Arms straight and come back down and exhale. Perfect. That's one, okay? That's your Y. Now your T is kind of the same idea. Now you're a T. With this, you just imagine if you're trying to touch your heel. So in standing might be a good idea if you can stand. So in standing, you would go like this and just squeeze together. Or in sitting, same idea. Bring your arms straight out and squeeze. Push back as much as you can. Arms straight and come back. You should not be walking like this. If you look anything like this is not proper. Okay? So if you're out here this way, that's not proper either. Okay? Some people do this because they have a hard time holding their hands. A lot of times people do this. This is incorrect also, okay? You're gonna just increase a lot of pain in that upper body and that shoulder. You're gonna need more and more therapy. So, none of that. Proper posture when you're walking with your walker is hold Your arms should be parallel to the ground, not down here, not up here. Your shoulders should not be hiked either. Everything nice and relaxed. The purpose of the walker is that you are guiding it. Don't let it guide you. And it's an aid. You're not supposed to be resting on it. It's just an extra leg, an extra arm, right? And it's just helping you walk. Okay. Now, if there's balance issues, some people rely on it a lot more than they should, but that's probably why. So, arms here, almost parallel to the ground. So that means the height of the walker is appropriate. If your arms are not parallel, almost parallel to the ground, that means the height is either too low or too high. And we'll have to fix that. And then when you're walking, when you step, your step, and I'll show you guys first, or both sides can look. My foot, every time I step, is right in between the wheels. It's that close. I'm not this close, I'm not this far, but every foot is in between that wheel. That's a normal stride length that'll help you take your proper stride. So aim right between that wheel. And this is how far you're walking. You have pretty decent balance that you don't need a walker, which is great. Good and bad to this is if you're not strong, if you've got some sort of weakness, people will start compensating with when you're using the cane. Meaning, you're using the cane this way, right? A lot of my pressure is on my right side. I'm putting more pressure on my right hip. You see, I'm already starting to waddle a little, and that's going to make my one side of my body come up higher than the other. So cane is really tricky when you're using it. Everything has to be in midline. So when you're using that cane, first thing, is it for your height or not? So when you're using a cane or a walker, you want to make sure that it's appropriate for your height. Ideally, if it comes up to your hip, usually you want it right over here by your wrist, or anywhere in between. For me, this might be a little too high. And Catherine, you're about my height, maybe a little bit shorter. So this may be a tiny bit too tall for you, okay? Because what that'll do is for me, I can already feel it. I'm wanting to have to do this, and I shouldn't have to hike my shoulder, okay? So that's one of the biggest things is you want to make sure that you've got proper height. Sometimes when you don't have the proper height, people will keep that cane back there because it's too tall. It's not supposed to be back there. It's not supposed to be up here. It's supposed to be right over here, right by your alignment of your toes, right? And so that helps you take that good step. But a lot of times you'll notice people kind of pushing towards the back or kicking it out.
Kicking it out. That's my
Kicking
little
it out
kicker
is-
outer.
Yes. So it sometimes has to do with your posture
With my
in
little
addition
kicker
to
outer.
the height of your cane, okay? So we'll be mindful of this.